Hi there, it's Isabel from Autism Untouched. Today's video is going to be about helping your non-verbal autistic child to become verbal. You will notice I have uploaded a few videos so far of Matthew, my son, who is 7 years old and was diagnosed with severe autism at the age of 3 years old, and again confirmed by another specialist at 5 years old that he is going to be non-verbal. He was not talking at all, just making sounds. I think you call it ukulele or ukulele, I'm not even sure, but anyway, I did a lot of research. Point is, what my research showed me is I can either believe what I read and Googled and listen to the specialist, or I can not accept it and believe in my child's ability to learn anything. I understand that if you have a speech therapist, occupational therapist, physiotherapist telling you, but your child has got low muscle tone, a lot of things influence their ability to talk. And that is what I want to talk to you about, that if you have got a child that is nonverbal, autistic, and you have lost hope that your child will ever talk, I want to tell you there's a link between talking and exercise, and there is a link between repetition. That is basically how these kids learn, is by watching other people. So if you had to ask me, what is the two main keys to helping your autistic child to talk? Is it the lamp or touch chat? Those are all amazing apps for your child, and I'm busy working on my son to get his app installed on his iPad. Point is, before, if you don't have all of that yet in place, there's two important things that you need to know if you've got a child that is nonverbal. Number one, you are that child's mother or father, whoever is watching this. You need to interact with that child on a regular basis. You need to interact and spend quality time with them, allowing them to learn and to make mistakes, getting onto their level, getting into their world. This is how I did it. Other people would have laughed and thought this is ridiculous, but this is how I did it. My child is a visual learner. But number two, what you're going to need, and I'll explain to you just now, is patience. You cannot give up. I'm telling you, there are days that you are going to feel that you are making no progress. There are days that you're going to feel you've actually come a far way, but it feels like you're going 10 steps backward now. Your child might start talking, and then suddenly they at this crossroad again, and they're not talking. They're either just being quiet or making noises. The time to give up is never, no matter how old your child is. My son started talking at 6 years old, and I'm telling you, it did not just come out of the blue. We spend hours and hours of time with him. My husband, because you can now imagine, because of him having to be supervised, I stopped working in a secular job, and my husband had to take up longer hours to be able to support our family. So I spend a lot of time with Matthew. And the reason why I'm uploading so many videos of him, and many more will come, is because I want to show you that as Matthew's diagnosis was grim, he couldn't make any eye contact. He had all the classic autism symptoms that you can think of. He was always flapping. He was not communicating. He was just making noises. He was not responding to questions. He was not responding to anything you said to him. And that all changed. Can I tell you why? I started by introducing Matthew to different things, puzzles, games, anything I could lay my hands on. And I introduced him, I showed him how to do it, how to play games. And at the end of the day, he started choosing what he likes. And This is how you do it. You get into their world. He used to watch nursery rhymes, and then he would come and interact it. I'll try and record him one day. And he would come to me and he would start interacting and singing a nursery rhyme to me. And immediately I would get into character and be right there with him, singing with him, responding to what he's saying, being excited. And you know what? That gained his trust. If there's one thing autistic kids are very scared of, it's being humiliated. Because, I mean, how many times do you hear someone, a teacher or sometimes a family member or somebody says to an autistic child, hang on now, quiet down now, stop doing that, that's not available, that's not suitable to do that, that's not the right thing to do. They sometimes, I think personally, what happens is they lose hope because they cannot help for how they are, and they are trying to be accepted into our society. They're trying to do and model the normal things that we do, but you need to give them their self-confidence, because once you are going onto their level, doing the things they like doing, being interested and participating in their world, that is what gives them the confidence to take the next step, to start saying words, to start saying things, and to express themselves in feelings, because they feel they can be themselves by you. You're not going to say, oh, you said that wrong, or you did that wrong. It was the same with everything for my son. I had to sometimes have so much patience, because he would do the wrong thing or say the wrong thing, but I kept on applauding him and encouraging him and saying to him, you did amazing. You know what, you are trying your best and I'm so proud of you. I never ever said to him, oh, you should have done that. It's already hard for their brain, the way it's wired, to have a conversation, to talk. But I want to really encourage you, don't give up. Start doing activities with your child. It doesn't matter how old they are. There's no age, and progress doesn't have an age. It doesn't matter where they are at, on what level they are. It's never ever too late to start interacting. I've seen that with kids and in my son's special needs school. Once they find that person who believes in them, who actually have the faith that they can be a productive member of society, and don't just look at them as if, you know what, they're just a charity case. Never ever ever give your child the idea that they are a charity case in the sense of everybody has to do things for them. You have to give them confidence. And I'm telling you, the speech, the verbal speech that you want so much to come out of their mouth, that comes with giving them confidence, allowing them to do things. This is what I wanted to get to in the beginning when I started, is I have found that the more my son, actually the more he's active, the better his speech has become. Because what happened is, I find often these very severe autistic kids, they end up in schools, for high needs or fragile needs, and they do not get the exercise and the exposure to nature and outside play that a neurotypical child will get, because they often, sometimes they are in wheelchairs, sometimes they are autistic and ADHD, and they would run away. My son used to run away, but I'm telling you, it is all about perseverance. I took his hand for 2 years, every day, practiced to go to the pedestrian crossing, said the words, showed him a visual, now we wait, now we look left, right. I'm telling you, after the practice of doing the action, the words actually came. It is really how it works. I cannot emphasize this enough, that with you doing physical things with your kids, not only, it's good to have speech. My son has speech therapy and he does get occupational therapy and physical therapy, but there's nothing like doing something physically with a child. Taking your child to the grocery store, let people look if they want to. Let them physically let them choose the ice cream that they want, and say, you go and take that ice cream out, or you say what you want. That's what I did with my child. I started giving him the option of choosing. For instance, you'll see in the one video that I said, it was an autistic child interacting, or nonverbal autistic child interacting. I would ask him on the computer, I would ask him, prompt him, I would mention a few games that he would like to play, and show it to him on the computer, and then he had to choose which one he wanted to do, and then he would choose the level that he wanted to choose. Now, when he was 3 years old, between the ages of 3 and 4, when he was diagnosed with severe autism, the pediatrician said to me that he has got really low muscle tone. From what I've learned, is low muscle tone is also linked to the lack of speech, because they say it actually, the brain has to tell the muscles what to do, and low muscle tone, fine motor skills, they said was non-existent with him. You have to watch the videos that I've got uploaded. I am uploading these videos, and I'm doing these videos to give you, as a parent of an autistic child, to give you hope and to give you courage to press on and go forward. I'm telling you, there are days, weeks that go past that it seems like there's no progress. He's not saying any more words, or he's even not saying anything. But I press in and I keep on talking to him, interacting with him. That's the big thing. And asking him, how was your day? I mean, hardly ever does he answer me, but I still keep asking. I still keep telling him about my day. I talk to him about the things of interest that he's interested in. And that is the key to that child's speech, is giving them the confidence that they can interact with you. Because behind the interaction comes courage to voice their opinion, to voice the words. It takes away the anxiety of, I'm going to make a mistake, I'm not going to be able to express myself. The fact that you are prompting. Sometimes my son gets impatient with me, and he tells me no, he doesn't want to talk anymore, but I press on and I persevere. I wait a little bit, and then I carry on with him again. But don't give up. Don't give up in believing that your child can talk and will talk one day. I know I've heard of a small percentage of autistic adults or teenagers that still are not really verbal. It's not the end of the world. But if there's anything you and I can do to help our children to become verbal, if we know what the key is, we can unlock their potential, and we can encourage them to be the best they can be, to express themselves. You and I can express themselves. We surely want them to do it as well. Thank you for watching. This was Isabel from Autism Untouched. And I encourage you to watch the videos I upload of Matthew, the tips that I have. Those are small things that I've learned on my journey. And if it can help you, I'm telling you, I would have loved to know more about autism when Matthew was growing up, because there was a lot of information out there that came from professionals, but where I learned most of my lessons was from other parents. They told me what they did and they tried. And that is definitely one of the main things that a lot of parents told me was, I allowed my child to help me in the kitchen. I allowed them to help me do chores, to go with me places. I included them, and I made them feel part of what I was doing. And that is the main thing, is to make them part of our world and part of this world that they're living in, because one day you and me are not going to be here anymore, and that child is going to have to function in that world. And why not give them the best start and the best, make the best effort we can to help them be successful in life. Thank you.